Mr. Andrade is about to start the mandala offering.
SCIM
Sangye Shindu Nite Uwarni Jokut Namdak Shingla Chuparsho Hidam Guru Nagdanandala Kamyatayami Chudam Soki Chonamla Chanshu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Dola Penchir Sangye Druparsho Chudam Sogi Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Dola Penchir Sangye Druparsho Chudam Soki Chonam La Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Dola Penchir Sangye Druparsho. All right then. So we're working on Adam's text, which is called Dura, which means learning basic logic and perceptual theory. And in the monastery, it's called the key to emptiness. So it seems kind of technical, but it really helps you understand emptiness. Okay, so if you want to be a really good teacher, the only thing that really sets us apart from other things in the world is the teaching on emptiness. And the more you understand logic, the more you understand emptiness. So we have to study it for 3 months every year. So the Geshe course, you do 12 years of lower Madhyamika, and then you do 4 years of higher Madhyamika, then you do 2 years of Abhidharma, you do 2 years of Vinaya. But logic you do every year for 20 years, for 3 months. So it must be important. Okay. All right, here we go. Please read, because I'm going to make you suffer now that you're not feeling well. Then you just feel better. Good. Nice. Wow. So stretch out the bay a little bit. Yeah. Rekcha?
It was Rekcha, things that can be touched, right? Or the sense of
touch. Objects of the sense of touch. I don't know how you're going to call it. Tangibles is possible, but it's up to
touchable.
You. This is part of the presentation, like in the Shinjing, Heart Sutra, Sukdra, Tiro, Rekcha. They go through the 5 outer objects. Sometimes you can say things you can see, things you can hear, things you can smell, things you can taste, things you can touch. That's sometimes not a bad way to do it. You can say form, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, but touches a little tricky. Anyway, here's the treatment of the object of the consciousness of the body. Okay. You're just here for fun, or?
Sage got permission to come every 1 hour a day.
Oh, whether it's his class or not.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get in trouble. Okay. Good. God bless. It's nice to have you here. Okay. Rekche Keche. What's Keche?
To give a rise to or come from.
Anybody have a?
The tattoos? Or
Ayatana.
That's right.
Okay, doors of sin.
That's right.
12 doors of sin.
I can't remember what we called it. Yeah.
Okay, so the Abhidharma, first chapter, which Stanley will get into, presents all the world in 3 different ways: 5, 12, and 18. 5 heaps, 12 ayadanas and 18 dhatus. Okay, so basically you can think of ayadana as the senses and their objects. 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, so we're on the door of sense. I call it door of sense. There's a technical explanation of che, which means conflagration. It means, especially in Arizona, you set fire on one dry tree, and then that spreads to 12, and that spreads to 144, and that's called chipa. And it's mostly used with flame. So keche means you look at one cup, and it creates thousands of perceptions. Okay, it's fertile. Okay, it multiplies wildly. Okay, reche keche kitseni yete. There's a definition of the sense door of the objects of touch. Lushe kinyongje. What's lushe stand for? Do you know?
I think it's I know it's the sensation of the body.
Yeah, Luki
body
number
touches,
shepa.
yeah.
Luki number shepa.
Mm.
Luki number shepa. It's shortened to lushe. Miki number shepa. Mikshe. Okay, so awareness of the body. Okay, consciousness of the body.
So the doors of sense and the consciousnesses fall under the ayadanas, but not the objects?
It's tricky. I believe they dump the sense power and the sense consciousness together, and then they separate out the objects. So it's really subjects and object.
Oh, okay.
In a way, the I power, the I sense power, is also subject. You see, although consciousness is aware of both.
That's right.
And then in division 18.
Doors.
Yeah, 18, they split the power and the consciousness.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Lucy, that thing which is nyong, experienced,
Experience.
and ja's future participle, which is experienced, and it creates a noun, the thing to be learned, lapja, okay, thing to be tamed, doja, yeah, disciple. Okay, so ja is the same. Ja is the future tense of the verb to do or to make. Okay, but it makes a noun, the thing which is to be experienced. That which is experienced by the consciousness of the body is the definition of tangibles. Okay, keep going. You have a momo problem. What's that?
I did it too well.
Once you
first time.
prove you can do it,
Yeah.
you have to keep doing it. Okay.
Rekja la yena ni yete jungwar gyurpe rekja dang jungyur du gyurpe rekja ni yurpe je.
Okay, good. So your reading is good, and I'm going to make it better. So don't get discouraged. They haven't even read it all. You see, they're not to where you are. But now I'm going to perfect your pronunciation. Okay. So ye is high tone. Rekja la yena.
Yena.
Yena. Okay. Ni is high tone, because it has it's a fourth column with a prefix letter. It goes high tone. Ni means a trap. Ni means two. Okay, so you got to make a distinction. Rekja la yena ni yete. And then please prenasal the jung, right?
Jungwar.
And then don't prenasal the cure. Okay, we had it this morning.
Jungwar
So
gyurpe.
I expect you remember what we do on the same day, not what we did the day before. Okay. So you still have to remember it for another 55 minutes or something. Okay. Cure.
Cure.
That's that one that doesn't exist in English. Ka, say ka. Kya. Q. Cure. Okay, not ngyur and not gyur. Okay, cure. We don't have it in English. It doesn't exist in English. We use a G, don't get fooled by the transcription. Okay, it's not pronunciation. So the verb gyur, we discussed it this morning, we'll do it again, with a BS, which always happens in SCIM. With the BS, BSGYUR, gyur, it means to change or to exchange. For example, money. is called gyur. Okay, so that's a real English G. The sound is G. Gyur. Say gyur.
Gear.
Put a prenase on it. Gyur.
Gear.
It changes to become. The verb to become. Past tense that gyur. Ka. Kya. Q. Gyur. Okay, it does not exist in English. The sound does not exist in English. Learn it. Learn to make it. Okay. When you're really mastering a foreign language, you have to make sounds that you've never made in your life. And they should be uncomfortable for 6 months. If it's comfortable, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Cure. If you pronounce perfectly, cure. Cure is past tense of the verb
Gear.
in English.
Become.
Now, as I told you this morning, but that was a long time ago, gyur means to become. Cure is became. But if you think about it, once something became, it is. Okay? It became red. You can just say it is red. Okay. So in translating Tibetan, cure sometimes means is. Okay. So remember that. Okay. Yeah, I remember the day I discovered it. I went and told my friend Art, and he said, "Yeah, I figured that already." Anyway, so anyway, so Junwa Kyurpa, what is it? If Junwa here doesn't mean to become or to arise, it's a noun that means an element. Okay, so the elements in Tibetan are called Junwa. Okay, probably it's related to the Sanskrit, which is, what is it?
Buddhas.
Bhuta, yeah, you're right.
What is it?
Bhuta, B-H-U-T-A. Okay, so anyway, Junwa is the Tibetan word for the 4 elements or 5 elements or 6 elements. Okay, there's 3 ways of counting them. So get this, tangibles, which are the elements themselves, which lie below all physical form, or tangibles which are products of the elements. Okay, like solidity, the table, this is a product of the elements. And then there's a lot of earth element below it. Okay, got it? So we divide all tangibles into the actual source of tangibility, which is the 4 elements. And then the products of you can say products of the
So
elements.
this would be the most basic, if you wanted to do a reductionistic look at reality.
Yeah, if you're a scientist. If you're that primitive. Okay, so we divide it into 2. Now he's going to give you examples. Okay, ready? Read. Next sentence.
Where are we at?
I'm going to put it up again.
Yeah, Jungwar Gyurpe Rekja.
No, not Gyurpe.
Cure.
Yeah, please, pre-nasals.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
slow.
Jungwar
Good.
Gyurpe
Nice.
Rekja like Yena.
Nice.
Shi Yute.
Whoa, wait.
Shi
Yute.
Yute. Sachu Melong Shipo de Yimpe.
Nice, I like your yimbe. Lung Haiton, that's my only comment. Someday it'll be
great,
perfect
yeah.
and I will just go on to something else. Lung. Element of wind.
Okay.
Lung, an oral transmission.
Lung.
Okay, lung. So we have a few accents like Chinese. We have a few, not many. Okay, so Junwa Kyurpe Rekcha, which are elements, okay, are 4. Yena means if you divide those tangibles which are elements, they divide into 4. And you should just memorize Sachumelung. Okay. It's just like one word, Sachumelung. At the end of the line there, Sachumelung. And that's the proper order of the elements. So whenever you teach it, when you see it in a text, it's going to be Sachumelung. Okay, Sa means earth. Chu means water, Mei means fire, Lung means wind. Okay. I'll give you some examples. Lhasa, land of the gods. Same as Los Angeles. I like to say that. The capital of Tibet is, the name is Los Angeles, place of the angels. Okay. Chu means water. What's the word for a clock? Yeah, water measure. Because the old clocks were water drops. You know, chu means measure the water drops. So the word for a watch is chutsu. Water measure. How many drips of water came out of, you know. Mei is fire. I don't know. Shumei is the offering fire, is the word for a butter lamp. Okay. And then lung is, that's related to the lung condition, which is when you're in a class, if you're a very, very sensitive person, and the first day you walk into a high energy class, you start to feel bad physically. It's called lung. Okay. If your wiring is extremely sensitive, it's like you have 110 wiring, and then the world shoots 220 at you. You know, which means I have 1 out of 100 students will react to the Dharma this way. They will just get, it's too much. It's like overloading a circuit. So that then you have to eat a lot, sleep a lot, read some science fiction. Those are my solutions. Sachu Melung. But it's a kind of an honor to be a person like that. It's kind of the more talented people have a higher sensitivity to prana. So it's kind of the more talented people get overwhelmed in a Dharma class. So anyway, Sachu Melung, wind, okay? Shipo. What's the difference between shipa? What's the difference between shipa, and shipo?
Four.
Yeah, shi means four.
And the four of.
Shipa means the fourth. Shipo means the all four. The four. Sorry, and then shika.
Shika? Both for two, right? So all four, I guess?
Yeah, all four.
Shika.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Shi. Four. Shipa. Fourth. Shipo. The four. And then shika. All four. Okay? If you're interested, you can learn that. Okay. Or I can repeat it 200 times. Okay. Sai Tsenyi Yate. I mean, if I was a good teacher, I'd make you memorize stuff and I would check your homeworks and all that. No, I'm not. Okay. Sai Tsenyi Yate. There is a definition of earth, element. Okay. Then all of the definitions for the elements have two parts. They have two components. Okay, each of the they're easy to remember because they have two parts. If you say blank and blank, you got it right. Okay, those are definition of elements. Now, I want to give a small talk about elements. In the West, we used to have the elements. You know, the Greeks. Even in Latin literature, the fire element. In medicine, for example, 500 years ago it was important, and then we got over it. Now it's like a primitive idea. Oh, they thought there was little fireballs inside of a table, or they thought there was little dirt balls inside of a table. We look upon it as a primitive Greek idea or something like that. But in Buddhism, it's actually quite sophisticated. And they're talking about elemental forces. They're not talking about elements. They're talking about elemental forces, like gravity or inertia or electricity or, things like that. These are way cool things. They are cool, okay? And they say all physical matter has all four elements in it. Okay? And if the fire element is stronger, it'll have a higher temperature. All things have a temperature. Just some things are warmer than other things. There's absolute zero, right? All things have some temperature. And all things have some motility, meaning all things move to some extent or vibrate to some extent. and all things have some liquid in them. It's just that Arizona has less. Okay, so the theory in Buddhism is that these are not little balls of fire or something like that. They're not that stupid. Buddha's teaching this. A person who can see an atom is saying there are elemental forces within all matter. Okay, so don't think they're primitive or they're stupid, and don't apologize for them. I heard the Dalai Lama's talk and apologize. Oh, we're sorry we had this wrong ideas, And I'm like, come on, man. We're advanced, This is cool. You don't have to apologize for Buddhist ideas, These are way cool. These are cooler. Okay. So anyway, Sashing Tepa. Okay, Sa means hard. Sawa, hard, and Tepa means solid. So Tepa has more of the meaning of Tepa, meaning it helps things to stand up. This has a lot of Tepa in it, okay, but it doesn't have a lot of Sawa in it. Got it? They're a little bit different, right? This has a lot of Sawa, but this has Tepa. It holds itself up, okay? So I don't know. You gotta struggle with those two. Tepa means it stands. It supports itself. And then Sawa means it physically feels hard. Okay, don't forget this is a definition of a tangible. Something you can touch. Okay? Okay. So, iron has more earth element than water does. But water has some because it will congeal on a surface. It has some tepa. It's not completely without solidity. Okay. Yeah, maybe cohesiveness.
Cohesion.
You play with it, but you're going to get criticized, whatever you do. Okay, these three are easier. Cohesion might be good. I might go with cohesion. Cohesion kind of means the ability to stick together, though. Right?
Yeah.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
You think about it. I think solidity, hardness and solidity.
Rigidity.
Rigidity's good. Rigidity might be good. Yeah, rigidity might be good. I like
Okay.
it. And that's the point.
Okay.
Water has a... By the way, rather than saying Chuitseni blah 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 yin, he's still in debate format. Okay? There does exist a definition because he uses this structure even to give you the definition of something. It's like, guess what? What? There is a definition of water. What? Because it's Len Shi Sherwa. Okay? Len Shi Sherwa. Say Len. Xing Sherwa. Okay. Len means wet. And Sherwa means flowing. So that one's clear. The first half of a definition of an element is usually more tangible. The second half of a definition of an element is usually more functional. It tends to flow. Okay, so I like rigidity. Hard to the hand, to the finger, and functioning rigidity to hold things up, to support things. Then water, it's wet to the fingers, and it's functionally it flows. Okay. So there's a huge debate. Anytime you use one of these four in a debate, someone's going to ask you, you talking about the element, or are you talking about
The quality
fire?
of the pot.
Or are you just talking about what we used to cook with? Fire, you mean fire from the stove, or you mean fire
Okay.
as a component of all physical matter? Which are you talking about? Sometimes they will say Chembo, Jungwa Chembo Shi,
The great
the
elements.
Mahabhuta, the great elements. And because they want to clarify, I'm not talking about water from a pipe. I'm not talking about fire in the stove. I'm talking about the water which is in all things, the energy called motility, flowing. Okay. Here's the fire definition. Is the most famous one. Say it, Sashing Sekpa. Sashing Sekpa. Okay. Yeah. Again, the first half of the definition is how it feels, hot. And then the second is more functional, and it burns things. What do you call a fire offering in Tibetan?
Jinsek.
Yeah, jinsek. So jin means giving, offering, dana, and sek means to burn. Okay. Hot and burning. Okay. All right. Lungitseni yente. What's the definition of wind? Yang shinyo. So yang is a homonym. I don't know, 99% of the time it means but. Here it means light. You know, light as a feather. Okay, yangbo. When you want to say a person's not serious, you say mi yangbo. He's a goof off. What's a guy like? He's a mi yangbo. Yeah, he's lightweight. He's a lightweight. It means he doesn't study seriously. He doesn't debate seriously. Yangbo means light. Okay, mi light and yoa. So this is like yo man, yoa. So don't ever say yoa. Yoa. When y has a g prefix letter, it's yoa. Okay. Yoa means moving. Okay, motility, moving. So all physical matter has some amount of, you can think of it as, some people say vibration inside, but there is some motion within all physical elements. Nothing is totally at rest, ever. Okay, so yoa. Why is there a hyphen there?
Because it's an ambiguity in the transliteration.
I will kiss you, but your beard, you gotta shave, man. Yeah. Only when you put Tibetan in English letters, Roman letters, this is the only possible misunderstanding, is Y after G. Because it could be kya, or it could be GY as two letters side by side. So when it's side by side, we put G hyphen Y, because it's unusual, it's not very common. In the ancient times, 30 years ago, we used to put GA hyphen Y. So in some of the older input, you might see GA hyphen Y. Okay. Yeah.
Changed all of those.
Which means if you're searching for something in the database and it's a G next to a Y side by side, you might want to use GA also, just to make sure you don't miss anything.
GA hyphen.
I hate to say it. I just want to check a spelling here.
The prenasal?
It would make more sense if it didn't have a prenasal. Now, since we're interested in pramana, those of you learning to use Gopher, I can limit my search to the books on logic, which I think I'll do today. Okay, so I would say add. I would go to my, this is where I keep my documents, here. And I'll go to the Tibetan books, and then I'll go to Tsima. This subject cataloging is unique in the world, and it's brilliant. And every once in a while, somebody sends us a letter, like from Tohoku University, and says, that's brilliant. But mostly people don't have any clue. But it's what TBRC doesn't have. So you can't look up things by subject. They tried, and it was lame, to tell you the truth. Super lame. They should hire Adam to work on it or something. Okay. Okay, here we go. 0. Uh-oh. Really?
They're within one line?
Did I misspell something?
Yeah, the gear gonna out in front.
No, I want to do it without. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it 6. No, that's weird. Maybe I'm wrong. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, okay, I'm in the minority. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Jungyo means product of the elements. Okay. I'm still uncomfortable with it, but okay.
So I use okay.
Jungyo Rechale Yena, there are 7 products of that. And there's, this division is kind of uncomfortable for Westerners, and I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Jampa. That's Cha. This is Jampa. Jampel Young.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
I remember.
That's why I like, it's in Sanskrit it's Manju. Like Manju Shri. Okay, Manju. So, soft touch. Like the touch of, I don't know, a soft sweater or something. Okay. Jampadan Tsupa. Opposite of Jampa.
It's rough.
Rough, yeah. Tsupa means rough, like sandpaper. Okay, or Geshe Michael's hands, or okay, Tsupa. Chiwa is the opposite of Yangba.
It's young is light, heavy.
Yeah, heavy. Chiwa means heavy. Sometimes the definition of guru is Chiwa.
Oh, because there was a heavy screw.
Yeah, a heavy. And the root came into the word gravity. The word of guru came into the word gravity.
Wow.
It means a heavy karmic object. Serious. Sometimes chiwa means serious. When they talk about the 5th set of 4, sorry, which is priority. How what's the priority? What's going to ripen before another seed? Chiwa is one of them. It means the gravity of the deed. Like murder is more chiwa than lying. Okay, got it? And so it will ripen first. All other things being equal, it will ripen earlier. LCI, chiwa. I'm just not sure about if it's Yangba or Yangwa. How can we check that? Let's look for chiwa near Yangwa or Yangba. Okay, got it? And I can shrink this down a bit to 2 maybe. This is a problem with the search program, and I asked him to fix it many times, and it goes off the screen. Well, it doesn't. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is Yangwa. So we got 1 vote for Yangwa. When we're voting, we skip to the next book because it's unfair to have multiple from the same book. Yangba. That's the text we're in, so it doesn't count.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's Seidura. Okay. Yangwa. 2 votes for Yangwa. 3 votes for Yangwa. 4 votes for Yangwa. I vote for Yangwa.
Yeah.
I think it's Yangwa. Okay, so that's how you can correct spellings in a text. Go take a vote somewhere if you think it's wrong. So now you got to do this, right? Okay, Tawa.
Coldness.
Yeah. There's 2 kinds of cold: feeling cold and cold ice. You see what I mean? I feel cold.
Yeah.
Shopping. I feel cold, or the ice feels cold. These are 2 different kinds of cold. I believe this one is the inner one.
Really?
But I let's go see. Let's see. Coldness.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be lazy, say cold. But it might be feeling cold. Okay. Anyway, cold. You can say coldness.
Okay.
Tepa means hunger. Hunger.
Or that is another inner feeling too.
Yeah. See, that goes
Yeah.
definitely to an inner feeling. Heavy and light are outer feelings. Chawa's in between.
Mm-hmm.
Komba is thirsty. Okay, komba.
Komba.
Okay, komba.
Komba.
All right. That comes in the Vajrayagini 8 praises. Kemba gyur. You dry up all negative emotions. Kemba. It's related. Okay. Komba kemba. To be thirsty or to be dry. Okay. Dang, dun, those are the 7. Okay, so let's do them again. 1, softness. 2,
Supa was, oh gosh, I had that. That was the smooth and rough.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah.
Heavy and light.
Heavy and light. Coldness and thirst.
Coldness, hunger, and thirst.
Or coldness, hunger, and thirst.
Okay, that's
Or
7.
the 7.
Now it seems, when I first studied this, it seemed a little random to me. Like, why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems like it. I don't know. Anyway, get used to it. That's the way it is. Okay.
Oh, it goes to Nangi, the inner forms, right?
Nangi Sukitseni. You want to read? I'm sorry, I've been reading.
Nangi suki
Suk.
Nangi suki tseni yete kebui she gyu ki de pe sukde yembe chu.
Good. Nangi Suk?
The inner form.
Yeah, inner form has a definition,
Yeah,
but it's in debate format. So how you translate it, think about it.
there is a definition.
It's got to feel a little debatey and a little artificial, frankly.
Is it?
There is a definition
It
to
is
inner
getting
form.
to feel quite
Because-
repetitive, too.
Yeah, it is. This is meant to teach 7-year-olds.
Okay.
Okay.
But you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn it. You can't. A good teacher will force you to learn the early stuff first and the later stuff later. A bad teacher will teach you Tantra first, and then you got to get the earlier stuff early. You may be 40 years old, but you still got to start from the bottom. They put me in the Madhyamika class the day I got to the monastery, and I begged to be put in the kindergarten, and they agreed. And I came out a lot better. They thought I would be offended if I was asked to start over. I had 8 years in Rinpoche's training, and I said, I want to start over. And all the people with me were this tall. And I was the best thing I ever did. So anyway, yeah, go back to the kids' stuff until you know it. Nangitseni yute, kebu shegyu ki duba. Duba here, which we've had it a little bit, we've been discussing Duba in Xiaoping's text, included into or grouped into. Here it means incorporated into, or included into,
Okay.
taken in by, subsumed if you want to be technical. Subsumed by the shigyu. Shigyu means it's a difficult word, the being of a person. It means mental stream. It means mental stream. It's this thing like, if you pinch it, does it go ouch?
Oh.
That's shigyu.
The ends of the hair don't have shake.
Yeah, these are not shigyu. And these are, technically they're not part of Michael. I can't, and the same with your fingernails. But if you pinch this, that's called shegyuki dupa, gyuki dupa.
Yeah, I see.
It, subsumed by the senses, the senses or something.
I just said included
Subsumed
in
by
there.
the senses.
Okay.
It's your problem. You do something, I'll change it. Subsumed by the awareness. How about that?
Okay.
So, if you sit very still and someone cuts your hair, you can't feel it. That's not gyuki dupa. Normally, the word is normally gyuki dupa. We don't say gyuki dupa. It's called gyuki dupa. So this is not gyuki dupa. But when you hit the root and you feel something, that's gyuki dupa. So a single hair has gyuki madupa and gyuki dupa. The follicle has gyuki dupa. When you get really close and you pull it, you can feel something. Okay, so I mean that's the classical argument. Okay, and it becomes important in later philosophical topics. I mean, here it's not so important yet. So, but we were talking about cold as an outside object and as a feeling inside you. So obviously, it's relevant to the discussion of things you can feel, tangibles. Okay, there's some tangibles. Hunger is inner, solidity is outer. I guess unless you press a rib or something. I don't know. Okay, Shigeki Dubi. Kiebu here means person. It's the same as gangsak. Okay, Kiebu, that little thing which was born, is a synonym for gangsak. Okay, Kiebu, gangsak. They're synonyms. They're listed in the Heart Sutra, right? Sorry, Dhammakara Sutra. Pudgala, Atman, etc. Okay. Translate. Pronounce and translate the first section. Up to comma. I'll drink the coffee.
Nangi su yena yena yete
Wait a minute.
nga.
Yeah, nga. Any nasal, fourth column. Nganya nama. Nganya nama. Going down the fourth column. Nga, ya, na, ma. Right? Kacha, kakaka, kacha tabata. Okay, so yeah, any nasal with a prefix or a head letter goes high tone. No. What happens if you don't high tone it? What's the meaning?
Oh, it's drum or 5.
That SNGA is drum.
Okay.
LNGA is fire. But what is NGA? But
before?
that's SNGA.
Yeah. I.
I'm
me.
sorry, R is the drum.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
S is
yeah.
before.
Okay.
What?
I.
Yeah, me. Nah.
Yeah.
And so if you mispronounce it, what happens is this is mispronounces a little bit. The people say what you're saying. It's only the 10% of the same, but the people come understand it, then they don't understand what you're saying. Then the communication doesn't really flow. You see what I mean? No, you can understand, but you have to work. And as a translator, you don't want to put that on your reader. Okay, you can't put things in the way of your reader, because you put things in the way of your reader, then they get tired of the book, they sit down, they start looking at YouTube. And, every time you put a little, foreign word, the skandhas relate to the Pudgala in the way that they, some translations drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Readers get tired. Every time you put a foreign word in there, it's one more thing they have to climb over. And then sooner or later they put it down and they go do something else. And then you failed as a translator. You can't put things in your reader's way. You can't make your reader work extra. They're already picking up a weird thing. Don't make them work extra, okay? Don't put things in their way, okay? They'll get tired and they'll put the book down and they will not open it again. How many times these books been opened, you can tell. Look at them. They are pristine. Okay. Okay, so inner form can be divided into 5 types. Let's go.
Mickey Wampo.
Not Mick. Mick means to focus. Mickey Wampo.
Mickey Wampo.
Yeah, if a nasal is not head letter or prefix letter, it's low tone, distinctly low tone. Mick. Mickey Wampo. Wangbo.
Mickey Wampo.
Wangbo, yeah.
Mickey Wampo. So it's a I sense power.
Yeah, good.
Nawe Wambo. Nawe Wambo.
Yeah.
The nose sense power.
No, I told you a trick.
Did you go down? Or is it
No,
opposite?
look at the head letter. The head letter is found in the English.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's how you distinguish between na.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's RNA, it's ear. If it's SNA, it's nose. Okay, it's an easy trick. It's a trick I learned. Okay. By the way, na also has wa connected to it, and na doesn't, but that's more difficult to remember. Okay. Na means
Nose.
No, it has
ear.
an
Sorry.
good, yeah.
Alright.
Ear power.
Reacta.
Nai wangbo.
Wangbo. Smell.
Nose.
Sense power. Che Wangbo. The sense of taste.
Tongue.
The
Yeah,
tongue?
literally the tongue. Che means tongue. Che means tongue. Chi means heavy. Che means tongue.
Mm-hmm.
We just had chi. We just had LCI. This is LC. Che means tongue.
What's iron?
Chop.
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 Chak.
Chop.
Chop.
Chak.
Chop. Yeah.
Chop.
What might mess you up here is I was thinking of something. Oh, well, meche is a very famous word. A tongue of flame.
Whoa.
You know, there's the same expression in Tibetan,
Wow.
tongue of flame, meaning a flame shape. Che wambo and luki wambo.
Look at that's a sense of touch.
Yeah, you could call it sense power.
Sense power.
I like to call it sense power. You can call it faculty, but it's ambiguous. The word is ambiguous. It could mean an educational group. So that's another thing in your reader's way. If you're writing a doctoral thesis, maybe faculty. If you're writing for this group, sense power.
Just sense.
Or
Body-
sense, you can
body
call it
sense
sense.
power?
Yeah.
You're just
In English,
sense
we
power.
just say
Sense power.
sense.
It means
Sense.
the same.
Power to sense things.
Sense accent.
Yeah,
What?
body here has to be as opposed to tongue, nose, ear. Yeah,
Yeah.
sense power of the body. Yeah, you worry about it.
Could you even just say sense of touch? And would it be the most?
Yeah, I love that.
Is it different than?
What did you say?
You could say sense of touch,
Like if you just said sense of, I'm just thinking colloquial.
sense of
like,
taste, sense
how
of
would you say
sound.
sense of-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do Google statistical contests with yourself.
I don't have
It gives you results, right? It gives you results. Look up sense power and then look up sense of taste.
I think we know how this is going to
Taste
go.
the sense power.
And all the hits you get are going to be Buddhist translations.
That's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Advertisements for certain kinds of food.
Like sentient being.
Oh yeah.
487 billion. Sense power.
300?
Wow.
Oh, billion. No, come on.
Who won?
Use quotes.
No, but if you Google sense power, then it's going to find the two words together in a
No,
paragraph.
no, we gotta use quotes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going and they're going to check the statistics. Okay. I mean, my Sanskrit professor spent his whole life counting words. Physically in books,
Okay.
and
Okay.
this is so great to have it in.
I get 668,000 for sense of taste versus 142
Sense power.
period for taste sense power.
So sense of
Uh,
More
so which one won? I
Sense
don't
of touch.
remember.
sense of taste.
sense of taste.
By how many?
By it was
Why have
668,000 to 142 not thousand.
Okay, Tsar, you gotta go Tsar. Tsar. Think of it this way, guess you like, Michael. Would you rather have $640 or would you rather have I'll take the $650,000. Okay. Okay, keep going.
Rangje Mikshe.
No, from here.
There is a definition of the sense power of the eye.
Yeah.
Rangje Mikshe ki tumon mempe dakien chepe chane shakpe nangi suchen dampa de yinbeje. De yinbeje.
Okay, good. Rang J means Rangi Debu.
It's
Results.
risen.
Yeah,
resulting from its,
which is its result.
yeah,
Rangi Debu. What is its Debu? Mikshe.
the eye
Cool.
awareness.
Yeah, so how do you define a visible object, which is I kind of like to call them visible objects. How do you define a visible object? It's a thing that can inspire a visual consciousness. It's a thing that can trigger a visual consciousness. It's the definition of a visible object. Got it? Triggers. It triggers or it it causes it, as its result, it triggers an awareness of a physical object. Okay, a visible awareness. It's the definition of a visible object. Something that can trigger a visible awareness. Got it? Rangde Mikshe. And not only that, Tumo Mayimba. Meaning
Not
Can't be shared by
not shared by.
unique.
Unique.
Okay.
Okay.
Meaning, when you play music loud, it doesn't trigger a visual perception. You see? Sounds are linked to audio consciousness, and visible objects are linked to visible eye consciousness, visible consciousness. But it's not that sounds will trigger a visual consciousness. So they are unique. That the correlation is unique. Sounds don't trigger visual perceptions. Colors don't trigger sound perceptions, except for Buddhists. Buddhists have, except for nightclubs. Okay, so that's what it means in Tumo Mayimba.
Okay.
They are unique. Colors and shapes trigger visual perceptions. Sounds trigger audio perceptions like that. They are unique.
Okay.
Dakken is, discrete's not bad. Ken is a factor as opposed to Gyu, cause. Dakken is a specific kind of factor, meaning Gyukidupa. Of course, we had that 3 minutes ago, so I know it's been on. What's Gyukidupa? Gyukidupa. It means part of a person. Here, dak
Oh, that's right.
means part of a person, carried around on a person.
So Dakken means.
Yeah.
Included within.
It's included into Adam. Adam's eye power, Adam's eye faculty is part of a person.
Mhm.
That's all it means.
Yeah.
Dakken means it's a how do you say? Dakken, a factor which is included within a person. Okay. Why is it a ken?
Why is it unique? Or why
No,
is it?
why is it a
factor?
why is it a factor? What's the factor? It's just it's a less important than it's a cause. It's a kind of cause which is less important, right?
And that's the object.
So Dakken means the visual faculty, which to a Buddhist is the cells at the back of the eye, are the Wangbo, Miki Wangbo. They are included into the person, so they are dark. But why are they ken? They trigger consciousness.
Oh, they're not the consciousness itself.
No, they trigger consciousness. Okay, got it?
Even though we call them the eye sense consciousness.
You can call it a
it's
trigger.
power.
A trigger contained in a person. Like in the Wheel of Life, in Sugang's text, in the book he expects me to write by August. I have 1,000 pages of notes. I just finished the notes. It's 1,000 pages of notes. I like to use the word trigger. Link 1 triggers link 2, link 2 triggers link 3. I like to use the word trigger for ken. I've been using trigger for ken. So this is a trigger
The Nishkaya?
included into the being of a person. So is this a dakken from my visual consciousness? This purple?
Yeah.
Careful.
Well, it's a form.
Is it a dakken? Does it fit both of those things? Is it a ken from my visual
It's a
consciousness?
Factor.
Dakken.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
a factor.
it triggers my awareness of it.
But it's not.
But is it
it's not a
dakken?
Dakken. It sells the back of your
No,
eye.
it's out there and it doesn't cover. It's not part of
Sorry, I
my.
was typing.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an outer. Don't get that complicated.
Well,
We're in the second school.
Yeah, so
We're in the
okay.
second school. Yeah, by the way, I strongly, warn you, don't go there. We're in the second school. In Tibetan, they say, what hat you wearing today? I'm sutrist. Oh, so we're not going to talk about emptiness. That's right. Okay, we're sticking to, that's out there, that triggered my consciousness. Okay, don't get fancy. You'll get wiped out in the debate ground. They say, you don't know what hat you're wearing. Okay. Okay, maybe you want to say, Chepe chane. Che means functions as, okay, or provides. I would say serves that. You can say serves as, okay. It works as, it serves as the personal trigger, meaning person, no, trigger of the I consciousness, right? Which is its result so far. Chane Shapa means established from that point of view. Okay, literally from that part established. Chane Shapa. Okay.
2 minutes ago, Shabbat.
Wow, we
And
didn't
don't
do
have a
anything.
break today.
Okay, but I'm done for the day, right?
No, after this, you jump right into another one. We don't even have.
With you guys?
With Ben.
Oh, that'll be pleasure. Okay, Chane Shapa means
We were changing something.
established from that point, from that angle. Okay. Nangisu Chen. There's an interesting word here, and I think it's an intriguing word called Dangba. Tangba, sometimes Tangwa.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think it's a sexy word. Sometimes it's Tangwa without the S. Sometimes it's Tangba. But it means limpid, limpio,
Clean.
crystal, crystalline. It's used in the description of very pure water. Like you,
That's right.
I used to surf in Hawaii. It's scary because you can't see the water. You're going over a reef and you can't see the water. All you can see is the reef. The water's so clean you can't see the water. And you think you're going to die. But actually it's 3 feet under the water, But you can't tell if you're on it or and it's going to cut you up. And I've been cut up, but you can't tell how far down it is. That's Dhamma. Okay. Now the sense powers are said to be Dhamma because if you cut open the eye, you can't see them. They're there, and they are a very subtle kind of physical form. Okay. They are almost ineffable. So Dhamma means super transparent. Transparent almost. Okay? Transparent form. You can't see it. You can't find the actual sense power is not something you can point to. It's not the eyeball. It's a power in the eyeball, at the back of the eyeball, and it's supposed to be transparent. Okay.
Okay, Michael, it's 12:15. Since we don't
Okay.
have a break, it will just cut it very quickly.
Okay, so let's do this definition, it's an inner kind of form which is established as what it is from the point of view of its serving as the trigger subsumed within the person that has its unique result of the consciousness of sight. Is the definition of the eye power. Okay, got it? So there's many elements there. It triggers an awareness of objects. It doesn't trigger any other kind of awareness. It's included within the person. And it is inner form, and it is transparent. But it's differentiated by Chane Shapa, I guess you could say that, differentiated by its unique result, which is only the awareness of visual form. Okay. So everything after the Chane Shapa could apply to other objects, other things, other powers. Everything after that, the other powers are all transparent, they're all inner, they're all physical. But they are not established from the point of view of triggering a visual consciousness. Okay? Got it? Kind of cool. I mean, it's going somewhere, okay? Don't think it's... we're in the retard point that later it gets very sexy. But you need the foundation. You need the building blocks. Otherwise, you could go straight to the other stuff, and then you're not as... You don't meditate as well, stuff like that. Okay, here we go. Thank you for hanging in there, even though your neck is breaking, okay?
Sashi
Buddhi Jushin Metokram Viramishin Yende Gempadi Sangye Shindu Mikte Uwargi Dokun Namda Shinla Chuparsho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniyatayami Igeokun Sunam Yeshe Sokzokshin Sunam Yeshe Lejungwe Dabar Kunyi Dabar Sho.
All right, then. Have a quick pee-pee. And we'll do comparative school systems.
Yay. Thank you.
It's so sexy to do all this in one day.